This is a front row. Top news in the Virgin Islands is told only by JTV. Our focus today, what Premier Whitley is focused on to curb gun and other crimes in this territory. Premier Whitley and his deputy heads to the United Kingdom to resume conversations, and what he had to say about talks touted by an opposition member about no confidence motion. Also, we feature the education minister. She tells us what's up her sleeve for the game of chess. Stay with us for the details.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050.
Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year.
Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
we will live well.
Opiate. Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Stake. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. A vote for Cowboy is a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of Steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.
Welcome back. A number of lives have been lost to gun violence in the Virgin Islands over the years, and families are still grieving as perpetrators of these crimes remain at large to date. The most recent victim of a shooting death is Kimo Letsam, and according to Premier and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Whitley, putting a stop to this is a top priority.
The murders we are experiencing are very worrying development for us as a territory. Yesterday, His Excellency the Governor, Mr. John J. Ranking, CMG, convened a meeting of the National Security Council, which I attended along with the Minister for Communications and Works, Honorable Kai Reimer, and other members of the Council to discuss the situation. We are resolved that more must be done to arrest crime and solve murder cases. I have requested of the National Security Council an action plan to confront the challenge of violent crime in our community so it can be rooted out from these Virgin Islands. Later today, the governor and I will be making a joint statement, making a firm commitment to tackling crime and preserving our security. These senseless deaths must stop. It is imperative that we remove illegal guns from our Virgin Islands now. It is time for action, and your government will make this a top priority. I call on everyone to do their part, including providing information to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, which can be done anonymously. I also urge you to report any suspicious activity that you see taking place in your neighborhood. The fight against violent crime cannot be won without the support of the community.
One tool the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has been utilizing is a CCTV installed throughout the territory.
No, because security cameras have been installed throughout the territory. And the police regularly use the CCTV footage to assist in their investigations. But of course, there's always a need for more cameras. I don't know the specific locations of the cameras, which I'm fine with. The police know where they are, and they've placed them in strategic positions so that they can get information on any information that they might need in an investigation.
But further to this, an action plan that caters for border security is also being sought among other strategies.
I've pressed for an action plan, but that action plan must include border security, because we know that illegal guns are coming into the territory. Of course, we're surrounded by water, so they're coming in by sea. And I'm pressing the National Security Council, as well as my own Ministry of Finance, to ensure that we get radar so that we can detect any illegal vessels entering into the territory, possibly smuggling guns, drugs, and even human trafficking. But of course, Zan, we know much more needs to be done. For instance, in our school system, I'm going to be tasking the Minister of Education to come up with a plan to deal with those persons in our school system who show signs of delinquency, who could be led easily into a life of crime. Because of course, when you detain criminals and you have new criminals popping up every day, it is certainly a challenge. And of course, we've spoken about empowering our traffic police to ensure that we are able to detect guns that might be traversing back and forth through the territory within persons' vehicles. But there's so much more that needs to be done, Zan, and I have to say to you, we also have to return to the question of legislation. Last administration, we did not like how the whole Police Act came to the public. We did make an amendment to the Police Act that will allow for DNA evidence to be taken from persons with good reason and good cause. And that DNA evidence will be key in solving many unsolved murders. And certainly we are going to go through our procurement processes so that we can have the DNA lab that we use in Miami able to analyze the samples that we do have. But there's so much more that needs to be done, Zan. As you know, crime is a worldwide problem. As an associate member of CARICOM, I've been intimately involved in the discussions with CARICOM, with the United States government, because of course it's long been a cry by CARICOM that most of the guns which you find in the Caribbean originate in the United States of America. And it is a concern for all of us, and we do believe that the United States government can do more to prevent the proliferation of guns in this region. Certainly it's something that we all have to take into account. In the very same United States of America, they face the same challenge with guns being used in mass shootings in the United States. So it is very much a concern, and we're going to continue pressing along with our CARICOM brothers and sisters for greater control of guns in our region. And the United States has to play a key role in that.
This was at the May 2, 2023 press conference, his first after the April 24, 2023 general elections, which resulted in him returning to the office of Premier. Deputy Premier is readying for her first international assignment as a Minister of Government. Honorable Lerner G. Smith OBE is key in talks with the United Kingdom next week as she sits alongside the territory's Premier.
The wheels of democracy are turning as we continue the new era of democratic governance. More immediately, I will travel to London on Wednesday to attend the coronation of King Charles III. I will then attend the Joint Ministerial Council between the United Kingdom and the Overseas Territories Ministers. I will be joined at the JMC by Deputy Premier Lorna Smith, whose wealth of experience as a former director of the BVI London office and executive director of BVI Finance will add great value to my delegation. Honorable Smith and I will also resume engagement with our UK partners to continue the process of building a new, modern partnership that is stable and supports the aspirations of the people of the Virgin Islands. Among other things, we will meet the UK OT Minister Lord Goldsmith, other UK ministers, and the BVI All-Party Parliamentary Group in the United Kingdom Parliament to discuss how the UK government can support my administration's agenda on reform, economic resilience, infrastructure, sustainable development, climate change, environment, education, health and security.
While both Premier and his deputy are out of the territory, Minister for Health and Social Development, Honorable Vincent O. Wheatley, will act in the position of Premier.
Actually, Honorable Smith won't be leaving on Wednesday because she'll be attending the Joint Ministerial Council, and that doesn't start, I believe, until Monday. But Wednesday, I'm leaving so I can attend the King's coronation. So Honorable Smith will be here until Friday. And once Honorable Smith leaves, Honorable Vincent Wheatley will be acting Premier. Honorable Reimer has personal business that he has to attend to, so he's going to be traveling briefly for a few days. I believe his daughter is having a graduation. So, well, quite naturally, Honorable Reimer would have been acting Premier. But because he was traveling, it wasn't possible. But thank you for the questions, and so I could clarify that. And let me just say I have a great deal of confidence in Honorable Reimer. He'll be serving with me in the National Security Council. And of course, Honorable Lorna Smith OBE, I have a great deal of confidence in her as well as Honorable Shari De Castro. So I feel confident that if one is not available, others can be able to serve in that role. I think I'm blessed to have a cabinet of very strong ministers and even strong junior ministers who can step up to the plate where necessary.
Meantime, 2 officers of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force will be present at the King's coronation in the United Kingdom. Acting Chief Inspector Dean Robin and Acting Inspector Jacqueline Tom. According to the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force, the 2 were selected by the senior management team in recognition of their community work. The coronation of Majesty's King Charles III and Queen Camilla takes place in London on Saturday, May 6, 2023. His Excellency Acting Governor David Archer Jr. and his wife, Dr. Alison Flax Archer, will host a gun salute ceremony to be followed by a brunch at Government House. Premier and Minister of Finance Dr. the Honorable Natalia D. Wheatley has expressed concerns about the opposition's plan to bring to the House of Assembly at some stage a motion of no confidence in the sitting administration.
Well, I support having a opposition that will hold the government accountable, that will provide greater transparency, that will challenge ideas which need to be challenged. We welcome it as a part of the democratic process. What I don't welcome is ideas that they're going to seek to disrupt the work of the government for the people of the Virgin Islands. We've heard things from who they have described themselves as a united opposition. as saying that they're going to have votes of no confidence without even anything even coming to the House.
It was Honorable Julian Fraser on 2 occasions that spoke to moving at least one motion of no confidence at some point during the current 4-year term. He first mentioned this during a joint press conference with the PVIM and the National Democratic Party, and subsequently on The Big Story. During the May 2, 2023 press conference, Premier Whitley suspects ill intentions.
So in my opinion, that shows bad intentions on behalf of the opposition. So I would ask myself whether they're interested in supporting the work for the people of the Virgin Islands, or are they interested in power? Are they just wanting to try to make the government look bad, or are they willing to cooperate, all 13 of us, in the best interest of the people of the Virgin Islands?
For Premier Whitley, the election campaign is over and it's time to move on.
The people of the Virgin Islands elected 13 persons who they believe were best there to represent them. It's important that we walk together in the best interest of the people of the Virgin Islands and forget so much about trying to capture power. The elections are over. Now it's time to work on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands.
This came up when it was put to Premier Whitley the opposition's suggestion of establishing shadow ministers, to which he responded,
If they want to be able to have ministers have specific focus on different areas, that won't bother me at all. I'm going to still go about doing my work. And however they want to organize themselves as a opposition, that's for them to decide. I don't have a challenge with it. I'm not daunted by it. I'm not intimidated by it. We're going to work on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands.
It's a steadily growing game among the youth population in the territory, chess. Recently, the BVI Chess Federation hosted an inter-secondary school competition, which also attracted children as young as 8 years old. Minister for Education, Sports and Youth Affairs, Honorable Cherie B.D. Castro, spent the day with them on Saturday, April 29.
You can hear a pin drop on the inside. That's how focused the young people are. They're strategizing, they're thinking critically, they're problem solving, looking at their moves and steps in advance. So I'm really excited, and we've been since Innovation Week in November. We had a full week of activities where chess was one of the stations. Both primary and secondary students, they did not want to stop playing chess. And so we decided that during Education Week, we had our upper secondary students as well from all our schools. They engaged, the same thing happened. They didn't want to stop. And so we have after-school programs in the schools, but we are seeking to start Innovation Hour, which will allow them the opportunity to engage in these types of activities like chess, programming, coding, AI, and also we're seeking to have it as an elective and ultimately as a part of our curriculum. There are parts in the world where chess is mandatory, and we believe that here in the Virgin Islands we have to move strategically towards that point, because the type of critical thinking, problem solving, innovation, creation, collaboration, communication skills that it allows is really where we want our system to go. And so while some persons may simply see chess as a game, by no stretch of the imagination is that what it is. It's truly an embodiment of the type of skill sets that we need, not just in school but in life. And so we're excited about what the BVI Chess Federation is doing in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, and we look forward to training as many of our teachers and community-minded persons as possible so we could truly get chess not just in our schools but ingrained in our curriculum, so that our young people could really begin to love the game and can excel and travel the world and access the opportunities that exist through chess. So the BVI Chess Federation have been training young people, and so we have a cohort of them here. They're doing extremely well. It's clear that they've been around the game for quite some time, and they're really understanding it and they're dominating. And I'm really excited to see that, because just with time, just imagine what can really happen if they stick to the game and if they continue learning. And I believe by the end of the year we'll have so many chess players we wouldn't know what to do with it, because we'll have to continue having tournaments just like we play domino in the Virgin Islands. I think we'll get to the point where chess becomes a household name and our young people will become excited about it.
Okay, so we have participating, and I want you guys to know that just to participate in a tournament like this is a major accomplishment. I think we had excellent sportsmanship from all of us participating. It's not just about winning and losing, but it's about actually being able to compete and being able to compete well. Organizing a tournament later this year, and that tournament we're expecting to be an official tournament, meaning that the ratings that you receive at that tournament will be recognized internationally. And so we expect to be playing at full tournament rules, okay, including using the clock and recording of our notes, okay, and having official arbiters and arbitration. So this is Ms. Jasmine Brito, the winner of our senior category with a perfect score, 6 points. And so our top team for our seniors is none other than Brigado Flax with the top 2 players. Isaiah is 8 years old. So he's the top player for the juniors. And so he's actually playing with students older than himself. This is the top for the juniors, St. John, the top school for the juniors. And just so you guys know that in international play, chess is a team sport, so you actually play as a team. So you guys would be matching with opposing teams in terms of a tournament play. We also have individual tournaments also, but you know, we do play as a team.
Just saying congratulations to everybody, to me, everyone that participated. You're all winners. Just being a part of the tournament says a lot about your character. And I looked at you, your focus, the way you thought critically, you strategize, it says a lot, and you're going places. Of course, to the winners, congratulations, individual winners, school winners. This is only the beginning. However, the Ministry of Education can support continued initiatives like these. We will, if we have to go to every island, every district, every school. We're going to ensure that through the partnership with the BVI Chess Federation, which I want you to give them a huge round of applause. You know, really awesome job. And of course, to my science officer, and I also have the Deputy Chief Education Officer present, and I see another education officer as well for social studies. We recognize all of you and the entire team at the ministry for the great work that you're doing. To the schools, the coaches, keep up the amazing work, and we're going to just ensure that this is not just after school or on the weekends. We have to get it in the school curriculum. We have to get the children doing it day in and day out because we see the skills that they garner from it. So once again, congratulations, everybody, and we look forward to the next one. It's going to be sooner than you think.
That takes us out on this edition of Front Row. Remember to follow us on all of our social media platforms as well as on our website at jahphixtelevision.com. I'm Kathy Richards. Thank you so much for joining us.
We know that where you choose to bank matters, and it is your vote on what your funds do in strengthening our community. As your official Bank of Paradise, we invest and support the lifeblood of our economy by helping in the realization of personal goals for homeownership, education, and entrepreneurial visions, which support small businesses. We make it our place to connect with persons and worthy causes, and we have been doing so for more than 30 years. Where your money goes and what your dollars empower are your choice. And we thank you for choosing us, a bank that gives where it matters the most, for you, for our community, and a happier tomorrow. The National Bank of the Virgin Islands.
Everyone looks to the future, but no one truly knows what the future holds.
The number of people under the age of 20 with type 2 diabetes could increase by 49% by 2050.
Let it be known that we all have a 30% chance of developing hypertension.
Globally, more than 300 million people of all ages suffer from depression.
More than 60,000 young adults aged 20 to 39 are diagnosed with cancer each year.
Obesity leads to problems such as stroke, heart disease, and kidney failure.
No matter your race, age, or color, we are all at risk.
These diseases can be managed or prevented if caught early.
But with the right medicine and the right doctors to keep us on a path to live a robust and healthy life,
We will live well.
All clear? Hi, I'm Cowboy, and I'm running for president of Stake. Thank you. And I will meet your needs. Some bathrooms are so expensive to build, they come with security. But at Staycation Butchers, our meats are affordable. People always ask me, Cowboy, where does your salmon come from? Well, our salmon comes from the water. A vote for Cowboy is a vote for quality, integrity, and consistency. So come into Staycation Butchers and cast your vote for me, your next president of Steak. Alexandra Durant approves this message.
No, I don't.